Hello guys, welcome to this video, welcome to the channel if you've not been here before. Today we're going to have a go on Assetto Corsa Competizione ACC. Again, this is the PS4 version, but we're going to be doing it on the PS5. So I bought this game first of all when it came out on release day, and I didn't really get on with it too well. So when it came out on PS4 initially, it was limited to 30 FPS, and it basically just really hurt my eyes, and it felt like there was a lot of lag between what you were seeing on the screen and the inputs you were doing with the wheel. So we're going to have a go on the PS5 now we have that, and see if it's any better, see if we enjoy it, and report back on the results. Right then, so we haven't been on this game for quite a while, like I said in the intro, so we're going to go onto single player first and create a custom race weekend. So we'll have an hour's practice just to get used to how the car feels, the physics on this game, get used to the setups, and we're going to do a 10-minute qualifying and a 30-minute race. And we're going to go to Brands Hatch on the GP circuit, as it's my local circuit in real life. So we're just going to load up the aggressive setup, and we're in the Aston Martin Vantage for this. So I believe from previous experience, the aim with the tyre pressures is to get them up to around about 27.5. So we'll see how that goes as we leave the pit lane. Obviously driving in the pit lane on ACC, which you don't do in a lot of other games. So as we come out the pit lane, turning the pit lane limiter off, and instantly the frame rate does look better already. So it's probably something you won't be able to see yourselves on YouTube, because I'm obviously recording what I see and it's not the output that I'm seeing on my screen right now. But it definitely does look better already as we go through Graham Hill Bend then, with some bollards on the inside. They're definitely not there in real life. No bollards on any of the corners at Brands Hatch actually. But yeah, instantly, you know, all the trees and stuff, they're moving past nice and smoothly. And to be honest, it doesn't look too much different to how Gran Turismo looks in terms of the frame rate. So obviously the graphics, actually the graphics do look like they've been improved, especially the stuff you see in car. So the dash, maybe not the rear view camera, especially not the virtual mirror up at the top of the screen there, but the dashboard and sort of just the structure of the car does look like it's been improved. Obviously there is some graphical improvement needed, you know, through the windscreen, the track and the grass and everything itself. But first impressions are I'm definitely pleasantly surprised here. So the other big problem that I had with the PS4 was the input lag, and to be honest, I think it is still there a little bit, but it's definitely not as noticeable as it was before. And actually I'm really starting to enjoy how it's feeling driving this car. The sounds are the best out of any sim racing game on ACC. And as we cross the line there to finish our 4th lap, we've actually gone fastest overall. So we've got the AI difficulty on 90. Both the driver skill and the driver aggressiveness are both on 90. So we thought that was probably a good place to start, seeing as we haven't played the game much. But yeah, we've already gone P1 in this practice session. So I think we're up to speed. Now you can see the tyre temperatures are actually in the mid-27s and the car's working quite well. So I think we're going to skip forwards to qualifying and see what happens. Okay, skipping forwards onto qualifying then, and we're going to ride on board for our qualifying lap. Let's see what we can do. We're currently in 17th place, but we've just been warming up the car, and now the car's up to temperature. We're going to go for a hot lap and see what we can do. So going down into first gear then as we go into Druids, trying to not get too much wheel spin on the exit. I think we've got the traction control on 3 at the moment, and good exit out of Graham Hill Bend then, using a little bit of curb on the outside as we head towards the very tricky left-hander. This is my least favourite corner in the Brands Hatch circuit, but we get through there okay and get a reasonably good exit onto the back straight then as we come down the hill to the fastest corner on the track with a very, very quick right-hander down into 4th gear as we head into another very fast right-hander down into 3rd gear for this one, making sure you use all of the road on the exit of the corner, and then another fast right-hander. This one's slightly off camber, so it's very important not to run wide there because you end up on the grass, and that will be your session over. And then one more corner to go, and it will just be a case of finding our braking point down into 3rd gear and then getting on power as soon as we can without running off into the gravel. Swing it over to the right hand side for the tightest line to the start finish line, and there we go then, we've put it in pole position. On to the race then. It's going to be a rolling start and we're starting from pole, and I'm not really sure how these work on this game, but in this single player mode it seems I can just keep my foot flat and it automatically keeps the speed down as we come up towards the start finish line then, where I presume the race will start. And is it going to happen? There we go, green lights and away we go. So looking up in the mirror, it seems like we've got a good start already. Just make sure we don't bin it in turn 1. Obviously paddock's going to be somewhere where you can end up in the gravel quite easily on that one. So into Druids then, and we keep a nice tight line there. So it looks through like we've got the first 2 corners of the lap out the way then without any dramas. We've got a green Bentley in our mirrors, and now we just need to kind of settle down into the race, get our tyres up to temperature and see if we can start to pull a gap and get into a rhythm really. So by the end of lap 1 then, we had a 1.5 second gap, and this basically just increased for the rest of the race up to about 7 seconds, until we made a small error as we just kind of lost a bit of concentration where we've been driving by ourselves for the past 20 minutes, but we get back onto the track and recover from that, and eventually we come across the line then to finish the race in 1st place. A little celebratory wiggle as we cross the line too. So another thing I like about ACC is the fact that once you finish the race you can still kind of just drive the car around a little bit. It's little details like that that just add to the realism and just make it an enjoyable experience. I should also say that this cockpit view is just the perfect cockpit view in my opinion. So you don't want to see a wheel on screen. Well, I personally don't want to see a wheel on screen because I find it distracting. When you're driving, you know, in real life, you don't see another wheel in front of the wheel you're using, and you want it to kind of be the same in your sim rig at home as well. So you see your wheel in front of you, the one you're actually using to drive, and then it's nice to just have the dash and the windscreen and not have the wheel animation on too. Next up, we're going to try an online lobby. So I've gone on to quick join in the multiplayer section, and we've joined this lobby at the Hungaro ring. There's only 8 cars in the lobby, and as we come across the line then to set our qualifying lap, we've actually put ourselves on pole once again. So we're going to be starting from pole. Again, it's going to be a rolling start, but it seems the rolling starts are a little bit different in this particular online lobby because there's not really a restriction. So we end up kind of pulling away initially from the cars behind, then we try to slow down a little bit, but I think we're still too far ahead, and then we eventually get the green light, but we instantly get a drive-through penalty for the position at the start of the race then. So yeah, big gap to the cars behind. Obviously you need to be doing something a little bit different and maintaining your position better when you're starting the race from pole in these online lobbies. It would have been easier to start a couple of places back because then I would have just been able to judge my speed based on the car ahead. Anyway, lap 1 then, we end up getting a bit too eager on the throttle on the cold tyres out of the chicane, and then just kind of lose the rear again where we've been on the grass, and that drops us down a couple of positions then, but we do get back into the race. And to be honest, I was kind of just enjoying driving around behind these other drivers. They were all fairly evenly matched, and it just seemed like quite an enjoyable race for a couple of laps. So jumping forwards then, and you can see we're up quite close to that group up ahead, and then there's a little bit of carnage, and then we get this move done up the inside of the Lexus here as we head through to the final complex of corners at the end of the lap. But I was kind of just enjoying that. I didn't bother serving my drive-through, and that did eventually get us disqualified from the race. So we decided to stay in the lobby and do another race then, and this time we qualified on pole position once again, and we made sure we went a little bit slower through the final turn there, and kept an eye on that graphic telling us to slow down a little bit and maintain that position. And then as we come up to the line and get the green flag, we just have to slow down a little bit again. There we go, the green lights, and away we go. No drive-through penalty dramas at all on this lap then. And you can see it's a small lobby, this one. There's only 5 drivers in this lobby as we head down into turn 1, making sure we brake at the right point. And then from there we just basically drove a fairly comfortable race, took the checkered flag, and got our first online win. Only 4 drivers actually finished the race though, and there was just 4 left in the lobby, so we decided to leave and see if we could find something with a bit more competition. So we went onto the server list, and you can see here there was a couple of lobbies with 17, 16, 14, 12, and then it got a bit lower drivers, but the only ones we could access, the top one had 5 drivers in it, which wasn't an awful lot. We tried to join one of the higher lobbies, but we don't have the safety rating just yet, where we've just jumped on the game. Now there is the competition server. The race on today, you do need one of the DLC packs, but you also need a safety rating of 70, which we haven't got yet, but I think we will spend a bit more time on the game and get that safety rating up just to see what else we can get involved in, because at the moment, in terms of the online, it's to be honest, there's not much to do. It's not particularly enjoyable. I think if you wanted to enjoy the online, you would need to maybe join a league race where you can race against a number of other like-minded drivers. But at the moment, it's just a little bit lackluster in terms of the online due to basically how sparsely populated it is. I think going forward we will get that safety rating up to 70, give the competition server a go when it's a race that doesn't require one of the DLCs that we don't have, and see how that goes, and I'll post that in a video at some point in the future. But anyway, thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on ACC on console, and I'll see you again in that next video where we will try and tackle the competition server.